Hello, welcome. It's Pamela Cuccinell, and today I'm going to talk about the new moon in Sagittarius, which happens exactly at, here we go, December 11th, 2015, 5:29 a.m. Eastern Time. So ideally, you get to listen to this meditation before that point in time, but even if you don't listen to it before that point in time, the meditation activation is still good for 24 hours after the new moon happens. The new moon lets itself be born over the course of the next few days. And this new moon is in the sign of Sagittarius. So as I'm doing this recording, we're in what's known as the dark of moon time, meaning that we're in a point of fecund energy where we can really dig down and see what is it I'm releasing from, what is it I'm moving from, what is it I want to let go, what is it I want to shape shift and change to a new orientation as I go into the next lunar cycle. So all lunar cycles are times of new beginnings, and you can read more about this or any lunar cycle on my website, insightoasis.com. Please sign up for the daily posts. There's also other subscription options there. But specifically, the Sagittarius new moon has its own kind of energy because every new moon is charged or colored by the sign that it falls in. And in this case, we're talking about the Sagittarius new moon. Sagittarius is the sign that is the reflects, I should say, that basically in our language we say it rules the areas of, but it reflects the areas of religion, which is such a hot topic nowadays, legal matters, publishing, also things that have to do with the natural environment. Sagittarius is very linked to what inspires us in nature. Sagittarius is a fire sign. It's passionate, it's exuberant. It can also be very righteous, very sure that it knows what's best for everyone. It's also the sign that's about higher knowledge, our sense of justice, how we educate people in an ongoing sense of I need to learn more, I need to grow, expanding our worlds, travel, countries that are not the country you were born in. So you can hear how this particular sign has so much to do with what we're seeing or hearing in the news, where people are speaking a lot in a xenophobic way. I'm afraid of people who aren't like me. I'm going to put everyone in one camp because they're of a certain religion. And yet Sagittarius asks us to also look for wider, to expand, to get bigger, to get more information and knowledge. So if we're feeling as though we know everything, it's time to start learning something new because you can never know everything. Wisdom comes from experience, from knowledge, from educating yourself, from being around different kinds of people. This is where Sagittarius really thrives. Now, every time we have a new moon in a sign, in this case Sagittarius, the planets are moving all the time in the sky. And they're in their different orbits and how they relate or make geometric positions to one another, to the earth, to the moon, to the sun. All those things are meaningful to an astrologer. So this Sagittarius moon is like no other. It only happens once, the way everything in the sky is mapped as it is. So this particular Sagittarius new moon, very intriguing. It has a lot of energy around it. And I say that because the planet Mars, which is the warrior energy, is configured in a certain way, which is showing there's a lot of juice in how we're feeling emotionally at this time. And also Uranus, which is the planet we call the Great Awakener, has so much to do with what inspires us or makes us feel a call to action at this particular point in time. Because of other things where this new moon is positioned, most specifically, being in the sign of Sagittarius, it relates to the planet Jupiter, which at this point in time is in Virgo, an earth sign. And it lets us know that what is going on with that way of expressing or finding ourselves in a more expansive way relates back to how we communicate. And yet communications seem to be very bound with this particular moon because of where Mercury is positioned in the sign of Capricorn. And so it's talking about a lot of tunnel vision, which we're seeing, and a sense of limitation, and a sense of not even knowing where to go to get the answers. So as we go into the meditation, I invite you to think about what it is you want to expand into, where you feel a great sense of optimism and exuberance, and where there might be a doorway that seems to be closed or a sense that you don't know how to go farther. Because there is a way, there is always a doorway, there is always an opening, there is always another side. And when we feel as though we can't see that other side, and many of us may be feeling that now. I mean, if you're someone who listens to the news, you may feel like, oh my gosh, when is it going to stop? When are people going to think a certain way or move in a way that has more to do with connecting than fragmenting, which more has to do with coming together instead of divisiveness? If you're feeling that, your job is to look in terms of how can I be a person who brings about an ability to open that doorway. And with each of us, it starts very simply within. It just starts right here, right now, at this moment in time, where you sit with yourself and make a decision that has to do with hope, optimism, exuberance, and a willingness to be the agent of change. So let's go into the meditation, and I invite you to find a comfortable position. You might want to light a candle, you might want to write down some ideas, but those are things you can do also after the meditation. But for now, just get yourself in a comfortable position. I usually recommend sitting up as opposed to lying down. And find yourself in a space where you allow yourself a nice window or opportunity to be quiet, to be still, to welcome in what's going to happen as you relax. So get into a place where you're in a relaxed state. Sit with your feet firmly on the ground. Allow yourself to feel your feet firmly on the ground. Become aware of your feet. Become aware of your feet. And as you become aware of your feet, if they're in shoes, you might want to remove the shoes. Allow yourself to sit somewhere where your spine can be straight. And your spine is just moving gracefully up from the bowl of your pelvis. This wonderful big bony area that carries you via your hips throughout your life. And settle into a place where you can allow that bowl to sit and your spine just rises from it in a beautiful, lovely, flowing, gentle S-curve. Not ramrod straight, but gently curving up. Then allow the base of your jaw to feel as though it's floating right over that big pelvic bowl. And as you breathe, allow your jaw to feel as though it's in that same horizontal line as how your thighs are sitting, springing from that beautiful area of your hips. And your knees are bent at right angles from your thighs so that the calves fall down, lovely right angles, which puts your feet directly below your knees. And each foot feels itself spread onto the floor or ground or earth where you're sitting. Allow each foot to feel as though it's nicely grounded. Almost picture 4 corners for your feet on either side, the end of your toes, where your heel rests. Feel the wonderful platform of your feet that carry you through this life. And as you breathe, allow yourself to really focus on your breath. Don't become hyper-aware of your breath, but see your breath as it gently flows. Breathing in, breathing out. And when I say breathe in, if you're breathing out, or I say breathe out and you're breathing in, it's all perfect, just as it is. Just allow yourself the pleasure of this moment in space. Allow yourself the beauty of your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. And I invite you as you sit and settle into your breath, I invite you to close your eyes and picture the top of your head, the crown chakra area. Picture a lovely cascade of white light coming down from the heavens. Just a lovely, gentle cascade which pours in to the top of your skull, letting light flow down in a lovely, gentle spiral, moving down, circling around your forehead, filling your skull and forehead, face with beautiful white light that feels silky and bright, that spills along, gently helping relax each muscle that it encounters. So you feel your forehead relax, your cheeks relax, your jaw relaxes, and the light spirals around very gently. Gentle light spiraling, turning a bright blue down your throat. And then the light wraps around in a beautiful spiral around your shoulders. You feel your shoulders relax. Around your chest and heart, you sense that the spiral of light has turned a lovely spring green. And then the light spirals down into your belly, a lovely gold spiral of light, filling you with warmth, filling you with a sense of safety. And then the light wraps around your hips, and it turns bright orange, and you feel warm and grateful and comfortable where you sit. And finally the light wraps around where you sit in a gorgeous red color, like a ruby or a bright red apple. And you feel very rooted, very secure, very wealthy in your seat. It is the perfect place to sit. You're so grateful for this point in time, allowing yourself this sense of energy, restorative energy. And the light wraps around your thighs, each individual thigh, down your knees, around your calves, and into your feet. And then you feel or sense the light is spilling off in very graceful tendrils or roots, and it slips down through the surface of wherever you're sitting, into the foundation, past the bedrock, into the earth. And you are so secure and well situated on your seat in this place, in this point in time, feeling gratitude, feeling alive, feeling secure. As you sit in this place with your eyes closed, I invite you to let your mind's eye show you where you are sitting at this point in time in your unconscious space. Where are you sitting? Imagine that you are sitting on a wonderful chair. Where are you sitting? Is it a chair? Is it a throne? Is it a fabulous rock? Where are you sitting that is unique to you, unique to your symbolic message? Where do you sit? What is the texture of the surface? Wherever you sit, know this. You are sitting somewhere that allows you to feel very powerful, very strong, very secure in the sense of belonging. You are somewhere you belong, even if you look around and you can see that it's nowhere like you've ever been. You are somewhere that indicates your potential at this point in time in your life. So where are you sitting? So in this lovely chair that you seat, that is your seat, it is time for you to get up, even though you may not want to leave this chair. Again, this is your meditation and your imagination. So in your mind's eye, you get up and you start walking towards a doorway that you see on the end of a path. Now, take stock of what that doorway is to and where you are walking now. As you walk along the path, you see on either side of you a landscape. And as you walk towards the doorway, you know you want to enter this structure because it looks to you like a place where what you learn is infinite. As you walk along the path, all around you, you see creatures, animals that are walking along beside you. You are not afraid. They are not creatures in any way who threaten you. But take note of who is walking by your side. As you walk along the pathway, with each step, you feel more of a sense of anticipation, a growing sense of exuberance, and a growing sense that knowledge will be yours when you reach that doorway and cross through it. With each stride, you feel more and more confidence, more and more clarity, even though there's a question as to how, who, or when. When you get to the doorway, your hand reaches out to turn the knob. Notice the doorway. Notice what it looks like. As your hand takes the knob, notice how it appears. Is it heavy? Is it simple to turn? What do you see? As the doorway opens, you step inside a room which is very, very vast. You are in a very large room, much larger than you may have anticipated when you turn the knob. The ceilings are very high, and at the top of the ceiling you see openings to the sky. Overhead you can see stars and the sun wherever it is in its position. You see both stars and sunlight and moonlight simultaneously. In this vast room, what do you see? Take note of any people, any creatures, any artwork, any furniture. What do you see? Now turn your eyes to the center of the room. And in the center of the room is another chair. One could call it a throne. And sitting on top of that is a very large man. He gestures towards you, and you walk towards him. You are not afraid. You are curious. You are interested. And all you want to know is what he knows. As you come closer, observe. What does he look like? What is he wearing? Is he familiar to you? Or is he like no one you've ever seen? As you approach, you realize that even though he seems so large from the distance, as you come closer, he's someone you can talk with, and he is on your scale and level. He reaches out both hands, and you see that he is holding a book, and he offers it to you. You take the book. It is yours to keep. He is smiling. He is very happy to see you. You feel very blessed, very grateful. Then he picks up something else, which he also hands to you. This object is of great value. You take it very, very carefully, and you thank him for it. Then it's time for you to go. You have your book, and you have your object of value. And the book is also an object of value. As you leave, observe the book. Is it one you know? Can you make out what it's for? Now, you go through another doorway, and this doorway takes you to a much smaller area. It's a courtyard. You can see the building around it, but within the courtyard is a lovely garden. There are fruit trees, there are berry bushes, herbs, roses. It's a beautiful, beautiful garden. And you sit and look at your book. Open your book. Is there something you see? When you look up, there is an animal standing at one corner of the courtyard. This animal is your guide. And you get up and follow the animal that leads you down a very long passageway. And at the end of the passageway, there's an arch the animal moves through, and you find yourself in a very large vista, a landscape, and you look out and note what you see. It may be a landscape you're familiar with, it may be one you've never been. But this landscape is an indication of where you're going. It's an indication of knowledge that is there for you. And how the animal integrates into the landscape is also information for you. You follow your animal guide, and when you come to a certain spot, you see once more, there is your chair. It's the place where you began, and you can sit down and settle into the chair, allowing yourself a sense of peace and wonder and expectation. And now again, focus on your breath, only this time, with each breath you take in, you will feel an extra magical piece of energy. When you breathe in, you can feel the energy of your breath coming into every cell of your body, giving you a sense of being restored, being enlivened. When you breathe out anything you no longer need, troubles, worries, concerns. Breathe in exuberance, expectation, curiosity. Breathe out worries, concern, grief. Breathe in a sense of life, a sense of promise. Breathe out anything old, stagnant, that holds you back. So as you settle into your body, I'm going to count to 10, and with each number, you're going to feel more and more alive, awake, and restored. 1, grateful for the meditation, grateful for the symbols that were given to you. 2, feeling a sense of energy coming into each point of your body. 3, expectant, energized, curious. 4, feeling a sense of empowerment that comes through knowledge. 5, curiosity, exuberance, feeling alive. 6, expectant, a sense of wonder, a sense of energy. 7, here, present, clear. 8, feeling alive, feeling jazzed, feeling eager. 9, looking so forward to this next lunar cycle. 10, coming back, present, alive, and here. So, these are things I suggest after a meditation or as the new moon occurs. Jot down the symbols you were given. The man on the throne, was he someone you knew? What was your feelings towards him? What book did he give you? What object of value did you receive? What did you see when you opened the book? How did you feel at different stages in the meditation? Who is your animal guide? And what landscape, vista, showed you the promise of all you can be? You can find out more about specifics of how to make a new moon really be something that you use in a way that's very constructive on my website, insightoasis.com. And I wish you all the best with this Sagittarius moon. May it unfold and bring you more places of peace, more places of knowledge, and more opportunity. Many blessings. Blessed be. Namaste. This is Pamela Cuccinell, and you can find me at insightoasis.com. Looking forward.